U.S. District Judge in May. In February, Trump had ordered Secretary of State Marco Rubio to revamp the Foreign Service to make sure his foreign policy is, quote, faithfully implemented. The president has also repeatedly vowed to, quote, clean out the deep state by firing bureaucrats that he deems disloyal. No official has specified how many people would be fired, but in May the department proposed laying off 10% of its 18,000 domestic employees. More than 130 retired diplomats and former senior officials issued an open letter last week criticizing the overhaul plans. One target of critique was the firing of hundreds of Foreign Service officers valued for their experience, regional expertise, and language skills.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Lovin'. Puppy Lovin' is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks rose on Thursday, with the Dow gaining more than 0.4%, the S&P 500 adding over 0.25%, and the Nasdaq ticking up marginally. The gains, while moderate, marked fresh record high closes for the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. NVIDIA's return to its $4 trillion valuation milestone for a second straight day helped boost the indexes. But the tech-heavy Nasdaq's muted move marked a notable turn in sentiment, said Melissa Brown, Managing Director of Investment Decision Research at SimCorp.
We do see today, different from what we've seen for a while now, is that there seems to be more of a preference for lower volatility kinds of names, as opposed to the really up-and-comers. That's why NASDAQ is, not up as much as the other indices. So that, if that's happening, or if that continues, that would really be a big shift from what we've seen basically since April 9th.
Among other stocks, shares of Delta Airlines soared 12% after the carrier forecast third quarter and full year profits above Wall Street estimates. That boosted the whole sector, with United Airlines and American Airlines also rallying. Shares of WK Kellogg skyrocketed more than 30%, following reports that Italian candy maker Ferrero was nearing a deal to buy the cereal maker. But shares of ConAgra brands sank over 4% after it forecast annual profit below Wall Street expectations, citing higher tariff-related costs for products, including its Hunt's ketchup.
I can't believe it's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody, as we look at your weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Areas of patchy fog early today. Foggy this morning, followed by scattered showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon. Highs today in the mid-80s. Partly cloudy skies tonight with lows in the upper 60s. Saturday, partly cloudy skies and a high near 90 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, looking at thunderstorms in low 80s. Monday, some morning rain showers with temperatures in the low 80s. And Tuesday, mostly sunny with temperatures in the mid-80s. Area temperatures this morning, Meadville checking in at 69 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 66. Titusville, 66. Franklin, 68. Oil City, 66 degrees here at 712. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Happy Friday, everybody. But not on a Friday. Should be feeling excited here this morning. Happy 11th day of July, but it is a Friday. We'll take that. Hey, a lot going on this morning. Christian Maher from the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation will be joining us. Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson will be with us here this morning. A couple quick headlines, and then we'll get to an event I was able to attend last night, which was really cool and a lot of fun. And talk about that in a moment. But first, a couple headlines. I don't know what to think of this. Debbie Stevens, a 47-year-old from Long Island, made headlines after donating a kidney to help her boss. Yeah, her boss needed a kidney, so she stepped up and donated her kidney. Here's the kicker. The woman, after donating her kidney, got fired for taking too long to recover from the operation. No joke. The boss she donated a kidney to fired her for taking too long in her recovery. Crazy. Another headline here. This is real sad here. Recent study, 47% of parents admit they're only staying together for their kids. Yeah, how about that? And then a University of California Berkeley study found that parenting daughters may cause twice as much stress as parenting sons, at least for mothers. Researchers measured the body's main stress hormones and found that it spiked higher in women caring for girls. The study suggests that daughters often trigger more emotionally charged interactions, which may heighten stress, not necessarily because they're harder to raise, but because the parent-child bond functions differently. Importantly, the researchers clarified that it isn't about labeling daughters as more difficult. Instead, it highlights how parenting stress can be shaped by nuanced emotional dynamics and how mothers may engage more deeply or differently with daughters than sons. Interesting. Had a chance to get out last night and take part in a very cool ceremony, a local institution celebrating 125 years. Titusville Area Hospital unveiled their beautiful timeline of the past 125 years and its impact to the Titusville community. Pretty amazing stuff.
All right. Right on time, just like you guys will experience if you visit any of our doctor's offices, right? So my name's Lee Clinton. I'm the CEO at Titusville Area Hospital. Today we gather to commemorate a significant chapter in the history of our Titusville Area Hospital. This gathering is not just a celebration of milestones, but also a tribute to the countless lives touched, challenges overcome, and the relentless spirit of those who dedicated their lives to healthcare in the community. In the year 1900, a group of determined local citizens recognized the pressing need for accessible medical care in a growing community. They understood that health is not merely the absence of illness, but a vital component of thriving communities. This understanding has been the guiding principle of our hospital ever since. In the decades that followed, Titusville Area Hospital grew and evolved. Over the decades, the landscape of medicine has undergone a profound transformation. The invention of antibiotics brought a new era in treatment. Surgical techniques advanced, and the introduction of modern imaging technology revolutionized diagnosis. The hospital embraced these changes, continually striving to provide the best possible care. Each modification was not merely a response to the progress, but to the commitment of our community's health and safety. As the 20th century unfolded, we witnessed the rise of specialties, with them advancements in pediatrics, surgery, oncology, and many other fields. The Titusville Area Hospital adapted to these changes, enhanced services, and expanded its reach. Throughout the years, the hospital has faced a number of challenges, from economic downturns to the ever-changing landscape of healthcare regulations. We've weathered the storm and emerged stronger. As a matter of fact, there was a time in the not-so-distant past where TAH nearly ceased to exist. The hospital fell in extremely hard economic times in the years spanning from 2008 to 2015 and nearly went bankrupt. Fortunately for this community, in late 2015, Meadville Medical Center took a chance on purchasing Titusville Area Hospital after the big systems declined. When I was recruited to this position in early 2016, Philip Pandolf, who's Meadville Medical Center's president, pledged his support of making Titusville, quote, as robust as we can possibly make it. It's worth noting that that's not the standard playbook for when a bigger hospital acquires a smaller one. Typically what people do is they direct all the volume to the mothership, leaving the smaller facility a shell of its former self. And sometimes they close it completely after a few years of ownership after they've established the referral patterns. There are countless examples of this happening all over the country and including in Western Pennsylvania. Mr. Pandolf made good on his word and fully supported growing services at TAH, allocating financial resources to do so as the needs have been identified and justified. Since 2016, we spent nearly $25 million on capital improvements. We grew the organization from a $22 million a year operation to a $53 million a year operation. In that 9-year period, our hospital outpatient volumes, so our lab, our imaging tests, and all of the hospital-owned physician clinics, we've increased those by over 75,000 encounters per year. That's an increase of over 75,000. And we've completely turned the organization around financially and from a quality perspective. Our salary and wages budget grew from $10.4 million a year in 2016 to $20 million this year. The total economic impact of TAH is estimated by the State Hospital Association to be approximately $82 million a year. Can you imagine this community without those resources flowing through it? Today, we gainfully employ over 300 people with an average annual salary of nearly $70,000 a year. In the next 12 months, we have more on the horizon. We recently purchased the former Rite Aid building on Central Avenue, and we'll be moving outpatient physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy into that single location. In the existing physical therapy space on Central Avenue, that's where we're going to begin this partnership we have with the University of Pittsburgh Dental School. So in July 26, we're going to bring, well, we're one of the first of 4 rural general practice dental residency programs that's being established across the Commonwealth. As part of this program we'll be bringing training for dentists, dental hygienists, and dental assistants all right here to Titusville. These programs should not only provide additional access to dental care in the immediate term, including those patients that are on medical assistance, which many private dentists do not take, but also to add a supply of dental providers to the region in the intermediate and long term. In the last 12 months, we've replaced a retiring part-time ENT with a full-time ENT. We have another full-time ENT coming in the next couple of months. We're bringing on a full-time audiologist to offer the breadth of hearing evaluation and hearing aid services. In January, we're going to have a full-time dermatology nurse practitioner starting here in Titusville as an extension of Meadville Dermatology. We added a new internist last month, internist and hospitalist, Dr. Sean Leslie. We've added multiple mental health providers, and we're continuing to add another one in the next month. A lot of things have been happening, and a lot of things continue to happen that are really exciting here in Titusville. In closing, the modern Titusville Area Hospital is equipped with state-of-the-art technology, staffed by a dedicated team of healthcare professionals who embody the spirit of our founders. Every doctor, nurse, technician, and support staff member plays a vital role in this mission, and we employ a lot of really great people. They are the heart and soul of this organization. Let us support the continued growth and evolution of this vital institution. Together, we can ensure that it remains a source of care, comfort, and hope for generations. Thank you for being here today and for taking part of this remarkable journey. Before we move down the hall to the other festivities and unveiling the history wall, I think we have some proclamations to do. But right before we do that, I do want to acknowledge Michelle Burdick and Kelly Clark, who, when you guys see the wall and these items that are out in the hall, you know, they spent a lot of time combing through the archives, looking through the scrapbooks, and, you know, they're the ones that identified, you know, what was meaningful, worked with the vendor, had this wall created, and I think when you guys see it, you guys are going to be really impressed, because I know I am. So, Kelly and Michelle, thank you very much. So, right, proclamations?
Yes. If you'd like to stay right there, that would be wonderful.
Sure.
My name is Julie Hecker, and I work with State Senator Michelle Brooks, and I'm here with a Senate citation to share, and because the Senator was not able to join you folks today, she sent a personal letter. I'm just going to read a short snippet of it and the citation. What strikes me most is the dedication of this hospital staff, administration, and the community to ensure it has a local hospital for its citizens in their greatest times of need. With this mindset, I have no doubt the Titusville Area Hospital and Meadville Medical Center will continue to explore innovative ways to continue to provide the compassionate, high-quality medical care our families have relied on for more than 12 decades. Now therefore, the Senate of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania congratulates the Titusville Area Hospital upon its richly deserved recognition, extends warmest wishes for a future replete with ever-increasing success, and directs that a copy of this document, sponsored by Senator Michelle Brooks, be transmitted to the Titusville Area Hospital, 406 West Oak Street, Titusville, Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. The Crawford County Commissioners appreciate the fact that we were sent an invitation, and it's always a nice trip to come all the way over here to Titusville. The County Commissioners are in regular contact with administration from Titusville and from Meadville Medical Center. Meadville Medical Center, at least once or twice a week, we do talk to administration from there. 7 days a week, I talk to administration from Titusville. And for those of you that don't know, I'm married to Kim Shell. So she keeps coming home. So we have a proclamation we'd like to read. Whereas Titusville Area Hospital has dutifully served the Oil Creek region, routine and emergency medical needs since 1900. And whereas, while rural hospitals across the Commonwealth are seeing extensive cutbacks and closures, Titusville Area Hospital has continually enhanced and added service to better fit the requirements of the local residents. And whereas generations of unwavering professionals have dedicated their resource, expertise, and careers to the continued survival and growth of the vital medical services provided by this facility. Now, therefore, let it be proclaimed that we, the undersigned commissioners of Crawford County, do hereby recognize and congratulate Titusville Area Hospital, as well as its staff, administration, and volunteers on the occasion of its 125th anniversary. On behalf of the citizens of Crawford County, we commend and salute the efforts of all involved to preserve this vital community asset. It is our sincere hope that the high-quality medical care offered to the Titusville region will continue for years to come and continue to be a model for excellence in rural health care. Submitted by Commissioner Eric Henry, Commissioner Chris Seeley, Commissioner Scott Shell. Thank you, sir.
Okay, again, thank you all for coming. I really, really appreciate the support. It's great to see this kind of turnout. So, if everyone could stand up, we're going to move down the hall. We're going to unveil the history wall, and then after that, we have refreshments and food and some other fun things in the cafeteria. So we'll go down the hall, see the new wall, then move to the cafeteria. Thank you very much.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How are you guys?
Audio Jungle.
Well, not too many places can say they've been around 125 years. Congratulations to everybody at Titusville Area Hospital. And as Mr. Clinton pointed out, Michelle Burdick, Kelly Clark, all that work, all that research into finding out all those important milestones over the past 125 years. So congratulations to the entire staff at Titusville Area Hospital. All right, we're coming up on 7:30 here this morning. We'll bring you the latest headlines, let you know what's happening in the world, let you know what's happening on Wall Street. Got some business headlines for you this morning. We'll also check that weather forecast. Much later this morning, Christian Maher from the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation will be with us. And Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson. Pirates, dropping 6 in a row? Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk Pirates, Steelers, and more with Bruce before wrapping things up for this Friday and for the week. Get you ready for the weekend.
The U.S. State Department will soon notify employees affected by its planned layoffs. That's according to the agency's top management official on Thursday, as President Donald Trump's administration pushes ahead with government job cuts. It's also the first step in Trump's attempt to align U.S. foreign policy with his America First agenda. State Department Press Secretary Tammy Bruce spoke to reporters earlier on Thursday.
That when something is too large to operate, too bureaucratic to actually function and to deliver projects or action, it has to change.
No official has given a date for layoff notices, but terminations are widely expected to begin as soon as Friday. Earlier this week, the Supreme Court paved the way for the Trump administration to resume mass government job cuts and major agency downsizing, potentially leading to tens of thousands of layoffs. That lifted a hold put in place by a U.S. district judge in May. In February, Trump had ordered Secretary of State Marco Rubio to revamp the Foreign Service to make sure his foreign policy is, quote, faithfully implemented. The president has also repeatedly vowed to, quote, clean out the deep state by firing bureaucrats that he deems disloyal. No official has specified how many people would be fired, but in May the department proposed laying off 10% of its 18,000 domestic employees. More than 130 retired diplomats and former senior officials issued an open letter last week criticizing the overhaul plans. One target of critique was the firing of hundreds of Foreign Service officers valued for their experience, regional expertise, and language skills.
Kick off your summer by saving big at Community Chevrolet's Summer Kickoff Sales Event. We wanted to call it the Dog Days of Summer Sale, but that made Clark too excited.
They told me I had to go outside if I started barking.
Save more than $10,000 off MSRP on a new Silverado, like the electrifying 2025 Chevy Silverado EV. Or hit the beach in the all-new Chevy Malibu RS and save nearly $4,000. The Dog Days of the Summer Kickoff Sales Event. This month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
U.S. stocks rose on Thursday, with the Dow gaining more than 0.4%, the S&P 500 adding over 0.25%, and the Nasdaq ticking up marginally. The gains, while moderate, marked fresh record high closes for the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. NVIDIA's return to its $4 trillion valuation milestone for a second straight day helped boost the indexes. But the tech-heavy Nasdaq's muted move marked a notable turn in sentiment, said Melissa Brown, Managing Director of Investment Decision Research at SimCorp.
We do see today, different from what we've seen for a while now, is that there seems to be more of a preference for lower volatility kinds of names as opposed to the really up-and-comers. That's why NASDAQ is, not up as much as the other indices. So that, if that's happening, or if that continues, that would really be a big shift from what we've seen basically since April 9th.
Among other stocks, shares of Delta Airlines soared 12% after the carrier forecast third quarter and full-year profits above Wall Street estimates. That boosted the whole sector, with United Airlines and American Airlines also rallying. Shares of WK Kellogg skyrocketed more than 30%, following reports that Italian candy maker Ferrero was nearing a deal to buy the cereal maker. But shares of ConAgra brands sank over 4% after it forecast annual profit below Wall Street expectations, citing higher tariff-related costs for products, including its Hunt's ketchup.
I think there's been high uncertainty surrounding tariffs. It's driven down consumer sentiment. It's driven down CEO sentiment. So to me, it's surprising that despite all of this confusion that stocks have done so well. I think, to some extent, investors are saying to themselves, well, we can see that there's probably a ceiling on tariffs, at least for most countries, of 10%. For, kind of broadly, there may be, whether it's on China or whether it's on copper, there may be individual pockets of higher tariffs, but in general, we know the worst. Of course, we don't know if that's really true, but I think that's the general prevailing sentiment in the market, is that we've seen the worst. Yeah, it might hurt inflation a little bit. It might hurt the economy a little bit, but it's probably not going to have a major impact on what it is that we need to see to drive stock prices higher. We've been quite concerned about the concentration in the U.S. market. We're looking at technology is about 33% of the overall market. And by the way, that's up from 30% just a quarter ago. So that's been it's high and it's higher. So that's been, it's a concern, because looking back historically, they're typically, when a sector gets concentrated like that, it's typically been the beginning of the end. It hasn't happened yet, but it is concerning that, the technology's representation in the U.S. stock market is so much higher than its representation in the economy, that it is a little bit concerning that there's a big disconnect there, and it's built on optimism. Another thing I would add to that is we're also looking at, the market is relatively expensive if you look at price versus earnings or other measures. A lot of that is the result of the technology sector, which is extremely expensive. So being expensive in and of itself doesn't signal that the market's likely to go down. But what it does say, to me at least, is that if something else triggers a market downturn, having very high valuations means you have farther to fall.
Wall Street continues to hit all-time highs, brushing off President Trump's tariff threats. It's Thursday, the 10th of July, and this is what you need to know. Signs are continuing to grow that traders are becoming more indifferent to President Trump's trade blitz. Stocks rode the high from Nvidia's brief rise to a $4 trillion valuation on Wednesday, pushing the Nasdaq to close at an all-time high. President Trump launched his trade assault into overdrive, announcing a 50% trade levy on Brazil. That's the highest so far. President Trump also announced that the U.S. will impose a 50% tariff on copper imports on August 1st. A move that will hurt American producers of everything from autos to appliances. Let's look at Bitcoin, our chart of the day. The original cryptocurrency surged past $112,000 for the first time ever. A key U.S. Senate panel took up debate on Wednesday over the proposed regulation of digital assets. That's as President Trump's crypto-friendly policies have bolstered prices. Facing a September 30th legislation deadline, Republicans called for a soft approach, while Democrats warned of the potential loopholes. The Fed released the minutes of their June meeting late on Wednesday, revealing a wide divide on rate cuts this year. Some officials saw no interest rate cuts for the rest of 2025, while two were open for easing as soon as this month. Policymakers pointed to considerable uncertainty about the possible tariff effects on inflation. Officials will now look to the release of the June Consumer Price Index due next Tuesday. Our number of the day is 39%. That's a quarterly rise in revenue for TSMC, surpassing expectations. The world's largest contract chipmaker benefited from renewed enthusiasm from Apple and Nvidia. Investors have piled back into AI-linked companies, shaking off fears spurred by China's DeepSeek earlier this year. Our stock of the day is Amazon. The Financial Times reported that the company is weighing another multi-billion-dollar investment in Anthropic, deepening its AI alliance. Amazon has already plowed $8 billion in the AI model builder. In other news, Amazon Prime Day sales fell 14% in the first 4 hours of the event compared with last year, though shoppers could be holding off for deeper discounts ahead. And that's what you need to know this morning.
Donald Trump keeps ramping up his trade war. On Thursday, he set a 35% tariff for imports from Canada. And he warned Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney that the levies would go up even higher if there was any retaliation. Trump also said other nations without deals could expect duties of 15 to 20%. He said the final figure was being decided now, and not every country would get a letter telling them their tariff. Trump said there would just be a blanket rate for most nations. This week's news on tariffs has had little impact on stocks, with the Nasdaq index posting a record closing high on Thursday. SimCorp Managing Director Melissa Brown says there's a feeling among investors that they know the worst.
Of course, we don't know if that's really true, but I think that's the general prevailing sentiment in the market, is that we've seen the worst. Yeah, it might hurt inflation a little bit. It might hurt the economy a little bit, but it's probably not going to have a major impact.
However, US consumers will be waiting to see what the trade turmoil means for prices. Orange juice and coffee will be among the closely watched products. That's after Trump hit Brazil with a 50% tariff a day earlier. The country accounts for more than half of the orange juice sold in the US and around a third of the coffee, meaning prices seem sure to rise. Domestic US production can't compensate. America is the world's largest drinker of coffee, but produces very little of it, and orange harvests have been hard hit by crop disease and hurricanes. Brazil has vowed to retaliate if the tariffs take effect as scheduled on August 1st, but continues to seek a diplomatic solution for now.
Tesla confirmed Thursday it will hold its annual shareholder meeting on November 6th. The electric vehicle giant's announcement comes a day after a group of investors urged it to set a date and cited legal obligations. The last meeting was held in June 2024, and since then a series of events have hurt Tesla's stock. Those include CEO Elon Musk's public feud with President Donald Trump, and the end of EV tax credits and a slump in sales due to an aging vehicle lineup. It's all raised investor concerns, and Tesla shares have lost 38% since hitting a record high in December. The automaker also wants to pivot to self-driving technologies for future growth. Investors worry Musk's political ambitions could hurt Tesla after he recently launched the America Party. Tesla's board set July 31st as the new deadline for the submission of shareholder proposals to be included in the proxy statement. The carmaker was close to missing a deadline under Texas law. It allows investors to seek legal option in case a company fails to hold a shareholder meeting within 13 months of holding a previous one. Britain's economy contracted unexpectedly for a second month running in May. Official data released Friday showed gross domestic product fell 0.1% after a 0.3% drop in April. It adds to worries for Finance Minister Rachel Reeves as the global economy turns more uncertain. The country's services sector saw a small amount of growth, but falls in industrial output and construction dragged down overall output. The reading poses downside risks to expectations the economy grew in the second quarter after a surge early in the year. It also raised market expectations the Bank of England will cut interest rates next month. Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour government has struggled to meaningfully improve growth in its first year in office. Economists say it looks likely Reeves will need to raise taxes again in her next budget, which was something she'd hoped to avoid.
From a trade war ramping up again to yet another record for Nvidia, this is the week in numbers. 50% was the tariff imposed on Brazil by Donald Trump as he broadened his global trade war.
Brazil, as an example, has been not good to us, not good at all.
The US president linked the move to the prosecution of former Brazilian leader Jair Bolsonaro on charges of plotting a coup. He called that a witch hunt. Brazil has vowed to retaliate if the duties kick in on August 1st as scheduled. 35% was the tariff set for Canadian goods later in the week, and Trump warned country Prime Minister Mark Carney that the levies would get higher still if there was any retaliation. Meanwhile, copper was singled out for a 50% tariff, which the president says will help rebuild US production of the metal. Just over 20,630 points was the record closing high set by the Nasdaq stock index on Thursday. The broader S&P 500 also scaled a new peak despite the trade turmoil. SimCorp Managing Director Melissa Brown says investors feel they know the worst by now.
Of course, we don't know if that's really true, but I think that's the general prevailing sentiment in the market, is that we've seen the worst. Yeah, it might hurt inflation a little bit, it might hurt the economy a little bit, but it's probably not going to have a major impact.
$4 trillion was the record value hit by Nvidia the same day, helping drive the overall gains for stocks. That cemented its status as the world's most valuable firm, ahead of Microsoft. The rise has been driven by renewed bets that Nvidia will be the big winner from the AI boom. But almost 8% was the plunge for shares in Tesla earlier in the week, after boss Elon Musk said he was setting up a new political party. Investors were alarmed by the move, which reignited the billionaire's recent feud with Trump. It also sparked new doubts over whether Musk will be able to focus on reviving Tesla, which faces slumping sales.
All right, let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania on this Friday. Some sun this morning, increasing clouds this afternoon. A stray shower, thunderstorm possible, and a high in the mid-80s. Some clouds tonight with lows in the upper 60s. Saturday and into the weekend, partly cloudy, upper 80s, almost 90 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, thunderstorms, low 80s. Monday, morning rain showers with temperatures in the low 80s. And Tuesday, mostly sunny with a high in the mid-80s. Meadville this morning at 70 degrees. Camper Springs, Edinburgh at 68. Titusville, 67. Franklin this morning, 69. Oil City, 67 degrees here at 7:51. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Glad you're with us here on a Friday morning. Well, as we get ready to roll into the weekend, a lot of people are like, hey, what's going on? What's happening? What can we do? Well, I'll tell you, Venango and Crawford counties have done a nice job putting together some great videos showcasing just the beauty here in northwest Pennsylvania. And why not explore some of these videos that have been put together to attract not only the people into our region to visit and shop and dine at our wonderful businesses, but for those here to go, oh, I didn't realize that's here. Oh, we should go and try that. So let's sit back and enjoy some just some great things happening here in northwest Pennsylvania. We're going to start in Venango County, and then we're going to move over to Crawford County here this morning.
Something that's really unique about the outdoor recreation opportunities here in Venango County is the way our area connects with the history and heritage and the scenic beauty. We have more than 70 miles of paved trails that follow the waterways. Because the paved trails are rail trails, they're mostly flat and ADA accessible. They're great for families and easy for people of all skill levels. Much of the development in this area stems back to the oil boom days. For example, behind me, the Belmar Bridge is a former railroad bridge that is now part of the Sandy Creek Trail. The oil region has tens of thousands of acres of public lands for hunting and other outdoor recreation uses. There are a lot of opportunities for outdoor recreation on the waterways, including kayaking, water skiing, tubing, and all kinds of boating. There's a variety of public boat launches and marinas for easy access to our public waterways. Venango County offers a wide range of affordable golf courses, country clubs, and driving ranges. Additional recreation opportunities include bowling, deck hockey, disc golf, skateboarding, pickleball, tennis, and more. The opportunities are endless.
2 Mile Run County Park houses 144-acre Justice Lake. Crosby Beach is open for swimming from June until the end of August. We have an inflatable that floats out in the water for the kids to climb on. Boat rentals of fun boats, trikes, kayaks, canoes, and stand-up paddleboards. It also has a concession area so you can get lunch for the day. We house cold water species and warm water species of fish, which is anything from panfish up to muskie. We have 2,697 acres. We have a campground, pavilion rentals, a nature lodge, 50 miles of trails throughout the park that are open for anything from hiking to biking, the whole way up to horseback riding. The horse trails out here run about 35 to 40 miles. It's a great one-day ride. The campground itself offers 72 campsites, 13 full hookup sites, 27 electric sites. The rest are all primitive. We have cross-country skiing available. We do offer ski rentals here at the park. We also have a really nice hill for sled riding, which will be lit on the weekends. We also have snowmobile trails throughout the park. It's a great place to be to enjoy nature. Come on out and have some fun.
Oil Creek State Park is about 7,300 acres of steep wooded hillsides with about 12 miles of Oil Creek flowing through the valley. We've got over 62 miles of hiking trails with several camping opportunities along that trail and outside of it. There's loads of fishing at the park. There's a 10-mile bike trail as well, over 12 miles of cross-country ski trails, and most of the park is open to hunting. We also offer outdoor recreation programs, guided hikes, bike rides, kayak trips, and then there are historical learning opportunities. Throughout the year, you can take the Oil Creek and Titusville Railroad through the park and enjoy the scenery.
Come to the oil region to enjoy our outdoor recreation opportunities. And while you're here, take advantage of our restaurants, our lodging, our downtowns, breweries, arts and culture, and so much more.
Meadville, Pennsylvania is not just another small town off the beaten path. Meadville is home of nation-shaping history, the exuberance of today, and the dreams of tomorrow. Nestled perfectly between the rolling foothills of the Allegheny Mountains and the banks of French Creek. Our people are more than what makes Meadville great. They are the backbone of our community. At every turn, you will find smiling faces, ready to lend a helping hand. Meadville residents come together to produce some of the largest events of their kind in the country, all while supporting and looking out for each other. Almost daily, you will find people from all walks of life coming together to make Meadville the best it can be. Volunteerism is in our DNA. It isn't about what we accomplish individually, but what we accomplish together as a community. We do our best to make everyone's life just a little bit easier so we can all enjoy life while experiencing everything Meadville has to offer. From the 2022 Pennsylvania River of the Year to our robust cultural and historical locations, Meadville has something for everyone to embrace. History grounds us to everything which is Meadville, from key movements which forever changed the landscape of segregation, to key industrial achievements which impacted the world. We embrace and share our history every chance we get. Our history guides us as we chart the path of our future. We invest in the prosperity of our future generations. With various schools and educational organizations, Meadville provides endless opportunities to shape the leaders of tomorrow. Through world-class facilities and classrooms, our younger residents are encouraged to develop their minds, grow their athletic prowess, and give back to their community. Home to Allegheny College, the oldest college west of the Allegheny Mountains, Meadville plays a starring role in the lives, development, and education of students from the region and across the world. As a community, we embrace our future generations and support them diligently on their path to success. Meadville is a great place to do business, relocate a business, or start a business.
Long recognized as the tool and die capital of the world, we've got businesses which have been anchored here for generations that are recognized across the nation and world. And young businesses that have quickly made a name for themselves. Their success is a testament to our people and their tenacity in supporting our community. Meadville is a place where the history of yesteryear can be revisited, and the dreams of tomorrow can become a reality. We are a community where you can feel safe, appreciated, and inspired. More importantly, Meadville is an ideal place for your next great adventure. Welcome to Meadville, Pennsylvania.
Hello, Friday. Yeah, get out and explore this weekend. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. All right. Quick final look at that forecast. Some sun this morning, increasing clouds this afternoon. Stray shower or thunderstorm possible at a high in the mid-80s. But some clouds tonight. Upper 60s for a low. Saturday, upper 80s. Sunday, low 80s. Have a wonderful weekend. Our third hour will continue on our website and YouTube and Facebook channels. Also on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel YouTube playlist. Just look up Northwest Pennsylvania and you can find us there as well. Great local programming throughout the day. We've got Christian Maher and Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson, coming up here in the 8 o'clock. This is the Morning Drill.
See, baby, we're so good to roll. It takes time and I can't.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh, me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
Right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
U.S. stocks rose on Thursday, with the Dow gaining more than 0.4%, the S&P 500 adding over 0.25%, and the Nasdaq ticking up marginally. The gains, while moderate, marked fresh record high closes for the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. NVIDIA's return to its $4 trillion valuation milestone for a second straight day helped boost the indexes. But the tech-heavy Nasdaq's muted move marked a notable turn in sentiment, said Melissa Brown, Managing Director of Investment Decision Research at SimCorp.
We do see today, different from what we've seen for a while now, is that there seems to be more of a preference for lower volatility kinds of names, as opposed to the really up-and-comers. That's why NASDAQ is, not up as much as the other indices. So that, if that's happening, or if that continues, that would really be a big shift from what we've seen basically since April 9th.
Among other stocks, shares of Delta Airlines soared 12% after the carrier forecast third quarter and full year profits above Wall Street estimates. That boosted the whole sector, with United Airlines and American Airlines also rallying. Shares of WK Kellogg skyrocketed more than 30%, following reports that Italian candy maker Ferrero was nearing a deal to buy the cereal maker. But shares of ConAgra brands sank over 4% after it forecast annual profit below Wall Street expectations, citing higher tariff-related costs for products, including its Hunt's ketchup.
Joining us this morning is the Executive Director of the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation. It's Mr. Christian Maher. Hi, Christian. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
Good to see you.
I realized I've got a button unbuttoned on my shirt.
Man.
And I should take care of such
You've had
things.
that whole ride over to,
I know.
Hair and makeup.
Trying to avoid animals on the way over here.
Yeah. See anything good?
Groundhogs and other things. So.
All right. A lot of deer.
A lot of deer this year. It's it bodes well for hunting season, but it does not bode well for driving season. It worries me. I've got a newish car, and I don't want to have a deer encounter. That's for sure.
Yeah. Other than that, how are things going?
Things are going really well. It's a bright, sunny day here in Titusville, and things are bright here in Crawford County. So we're doing a lot of great stuff, and we just got done giving away some money to a lot of brilliant young people who are going off to college, hoping that several of them will come back to the area and help maybe reverse our brain drain a little. That's a tough one. We're sending a lot of young people to tech education.
Great.
And those young people really do stay here for the most part. They're going to work at tool shops and other manufacturers and welding shops and out doing electrician work and things that we need. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're especially excited about devoting some money to that.
I was watching Ask This Old House last night.
Yeah.
Of course, that follows this old house.
Norm and...
yeah, Norm's gone. He retired.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It shows how long I've been since I've watched it.
Yeah, that new Yankee Workshop is a pretty old Yankee Workshop.
Oh, man.
But that was a great show. Anyhow, they, on Ask This Old House, did a spotlight on a company that gave attention to one of their employees because he kind of grew up not knowing what he wanted to do. The guy hired him. He was the owner of the business, his son's friend. And he said, well, why don't you, do an apprenticeship with us? And after a year, he said, how do you like it? And he goes, I love it. And so they did a spotlight on him. But he's not only just doing that and learning the trade, he's also inspiring others. He goes to like these youth things and encourages them to get into woodworking and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's like, boy, this is great. And people feel like they're doing something when they're working with their hands.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you see the results of your work at the end of the day. I don't always have that in my job, so I have to, like, when I'm working out of my home, I get that satisfaction of doing that kind of work.
Yeah,
but I totally get it, and we need. I mean, if you've seen the housing stock in our community, we need those woodworkers. We need carpenters. People who can run a backhoe and put drainage in around the house. Like, all of those things are essential to the health of our community because we need to we need to build houses and renovate houses for the people who do other jobs around here.
Is it partly, though, when you think about it, like, oh, the TV's not working. Yeah, they're so cheap today. It's just easier just to get a new one and toss this instead of, again, not that you can find somebody to come to the house and fix it, but.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that one's a rough one. Like, because there's certain things that you realize, oh, yeah, I've got to spend the money to buy the quality product here that's going to last me for the rest of my life, and not the thing that I'm going to have to replace every few years.
Right.
It's cheap at the outset, so yeah, that's a rough one. But we've got a lot of housing stock here that could use an upgrade. So. I know there are a couple organizations in the community that are working on those kind of things. So hoping to see lots of good stuff come out of that.
The day after the 4th of July, actually it was a story in Meadville. They had the Halloween and back to school stuff out.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So is like in your mind when you hear or see that, does it like, oh man, okay, yeah, I know the kids graduated a month ago, but a month from now they're going to be getting ready to head off to school. Crawford Gives is coming up.
Yeah, I mean, we just ordered scholarship checks. I still haven't run them in my accounting system, so we'll be doing that here soon. We don't have to have that done until next month, the end of the month. So
okay,
so I've got time.
Yeah, you blink though, and it's
we're just closing out. At the end of the quarter, so there's lots of accounting work that needs to be done, and Crawford Gives is on the way. So I'm hoping that we have enough of a match pool to make it worthwhile for the organizations that are participating. I think last I checked, we had 182 different organizations. My staff hates me because I've let a couple of people in like after the deadline. And they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I can't say no to people. I'm a people pleaser." Some really obscure nonprofit organizations that you may have never heard of. So take some time, go through the Crawford Gives lists, check things out, and see what organizations might strike your fancy. Again, none of the money that comes in through Crawford Gives really stays with us. Like, it's all dollars that go out to the organizations that are participating. And, we want to see a Crawford County that is vibrant and that people are investing their money in programs and organizations that make a difference in people's lives. So be a little more discerning maybe with your charitable giving. It's really easy when you go to and I hate this practice, but when you go to the grocery store and they're like, "Hey, do you want to round up for charity?" And you're like, "Oh, I feel good about putting my 25 cents to this." As a fundraiser, it makes me bristle because I'm like, you're not developing a relationship with this organization. You don't know how these dollars are necessarily being used. Like, you just hear a name of an organization and you assume that they're being used in a good way. And really, for me, I want to see people get to know the organizations, get some feedback from them about how those dollars are making an impact on the community. And you can't do that if you're just doing it anonymously like that. So
yeah, especially if you're in the 10 items or less line, and there's somebody behind you, and
and they're writing a check,
and
out of their checkbook.
Sometimes I'll ask okay, and this organization does what?
And is it a local hospital? Is it a national organization that you like?
I used to feel guilty about that. I don't anymore.
Oh no, I don't feel bad about it. And again, I consider myself a moderately generous person, but to specific things that I think are impactful and kind of align with my values. So and these national organizations are usually doing all right. They've got their own fundraising staffs that are making impact, and
Once in a while, you'll get that employee that gives you that look, like, what's wrong with you? And I'm
like, I don't know why they take it so seriously. But, yeah.
Funny.
So, yeah, we're next week, I'll be helping to present certificates. We've already presented scholarship awards to the young people who got scholarships from the National Tooling and Machining Association's Education Foundation and from us. And so that's always fun because you kind of get to see people who are going right into industry. Where this year we're doing something new that for a few of those young people, we're buying them tools.
Wow.
So if they're going right into a shop and they just need, the basics to begin that career, we're putting a few $100s towards tooling. Because right now, I mean, you can leave high school and pretty much go into any tool shop. If you can pass their the testing they do and interview well, you can get hired right out of high school. But there are still things that you kind of have to pay for out of pocket. So we're trying to defray some of those costs.
So what are some of the challenges that you hear? I mean, tools, that's a great idea. That's a great start.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've heard, transportation, getting to work.
Yeah, and so I mean, especially in a rural county where we're so spread out, I'm sure you talked to Stephanie Feely over here at Pitt, and their program, the new program that the tooling program that they've got over here, that they've actually got a cohort from Maplewood High School that comes over here and gets bussed over. And, we were talking about like, okay, what are the barriers? The barriers are those kids then going to maybe a co-op after they've had the training, and how do they get to an employer for that first initial internship kind of opportunity. And because often these are high school kids, they don't necessarily have a car of their own, or they're not driving age, and so how do we find ways to subsidize that? And so these are the things that we kind of think about with our grant making program, is like, okay, what are the interventions that we want to have? And that right there is like an ideal kind of thing. If you're helping a young person get the training that they need to like jump into a career right after high school graduation, that's perfect. So like we'll find ways to subsidize that kind of program because we know it's going to be worthwhile. The hospital now has the Sharon School of Nursing through Titusville Hospital and Meadville Medical Center. Same kind of thing. It's like, how do we design interventions there that really help? Last year, we helped to leverage some dollars for that program. That program is ramping up and expanding, and so how can we find new dollars this year? Because I don't know about you, but I want well-trained nurses in our area so that when I have to go to the doctor, there's somebody there to take care of me. And the same thing goes for dental education. So, they're ramping up again in cooperation with Pitt Titusville, a dental hygiene program, because I know a lot of the dentists around the community now are only able to get you in for an annual cleaning instead of a 6-month, because there's a lack of hygienists. So, it's all of these things that really get in the way of our good health that we want to support. So, if we can both create, good, well-paying jobs and support these programs that are creating good jobs,
that's what we want.
That's what we want.
You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Christian Maher with us here this morning from the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation. I'm amazed when you look back at least the last 25 years, but how high schools, how school districts, I should say, have really come around to, okay, because when we went to school, there was Votech, Yeah. But it was basically VOTEC, your traditional, maybe some business class.
Yeah.
But now you've got school districts going, yeah, we recognize this. We've had, meetings with community members and leaders, and this is the need. Yeah, maybe a student doesn't need to be in our school building all day. Maybe we can send them to the university. Maybe we can send them to these things.
Well, and I think it's also kind of like multidisciplinary. Like, I mean, I know one of our scholarship recipients had started his own landscaping business when he was in high school, and was in the welding program at the VOTEC, and goes to Mercyhurst getting his 4-year college degree because his parents were like, if you're going to run a business, even if it's a small business like a landscaping business, you've got to have some skills.
Yeah.
And so, like, we want you to do this thing. And then if, like, landscaping's the thing, you stick with it, but you'll have, like, this degree to back you up. And maybe it's something you fall back on for another career later on. But at least you have the skills and you don't have to, like, go back to school at a later date. So, again, there are paths that are different for each student, and this is a young person who could have gone right out of high school into a welding career and done very well for himself, but that wasn't necessarily his passion. It's a skill he wanted to have, but he wasn't sure that that's what he wanted to do for a career for the rest of his life, so he's exploring. So it's going to be very individual as to what the student's going to want to do, and we have to customize the education to that.
I watched that business documentary, Back to School, where that gentleman goes back to college and joins with
Mellon.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
It was a great documentary.
Yeah. Got involved in the swim team and everything. Like
very inspiring,
right?
Yeah. Say it.
Classics. Yeah, so there's lots of neat stuff out there, and
All right, not to put pressure on you, 31 days till Crawford gives.
31, yeah.
But obviously, Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is so much more. Is it a good time, a bad time for somebody to reach out to you and say, hey, share with me, tell me more about Crawford Gives, tell me more about the foundation?
Yeah, honestly, it's a great time to talk about stuff. I mean, when we've been really busy, I've had people coming in. Actually, we had one person who called up and was like, hey, let's get together. And then they went to our brand new website and they're like, I found my answer.
Nice.
we don't need to get together. I figured it out. Because they were planning a gift and they had a specific organization in mind that they wanted to add to their endowment. They didn't want to create something new. And so it was easy. They're like, oh, I figured it out. I'm like, great. Followed up with a letter, all that. Sometimes it takes a bit more. So, I've been going out, taking people out to lunch, going out to people's homes and talking about what it is that they're trying to accomplish, putting that all down on paper so that, when the time comes, we can jump into action and get those charitable endowments moving. So it's been surprisingly busy lately. So, we've got people who want to create scholarships of their own to support a variety of educational things. We've got people who want to support specific organizations. We're working with libraries, especially kind of right now. We've got a bunch of libraries that are wondering, like, oh, how do we get people to think about, like, leaving us money in their wills, estate planning, and that kind of thing. So that's kind of a push at the moment.
The other thing is, you just, a couple weeks ago, offered that How to Write a Powerful fundraising message.
So we're also giving... we're doing educational programming for nonprofits.
People need to take advantage of that.
And we want organizations to tell us, okay, where are you lacking? Like, what are kinds of things? Our friends at Allegheny College's Community Impact Hub are doing a strategic planning session here soon with a speaker out of Pittsburgh who's going to come up and kind of guide people for the day through the basics of, like, what does it take to put together your strategic plan? And so, like, I had somebody reach out to me from Meadville's Market House the other day. They're like, I've been on this board for a while, and I still get really followed up with the financial statements. And I'm like, I totally get you, because I have seen some financial statements that make me scratch my head, and I'm like, not quite sure how to interpret things all the time. But there's educational programming that we can give. I can give some one-on-one support in some cases. But if there's like a real need, and we've had the nonprofit partnership out of Erie down for a couple programs. We're going to be doing a lot more with them, I hope, in the next few months. So we really want to be able to build the capacity for our region's organizations, because there's a lot of need.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're thinking, well, I don't own a business, I don't need to worry about financial statements.
Yeah. Maybe
you get asked to sit on a board. Or maybe you already sit on a board and you get those monthly reports and you're looking at it and you go, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Right.
If you're thinking that might be a good thing to say, you know what, I should invest in helping.
And it shouldn't take too much time. And maybe it's that your organization could have a slightly clearer financial statement, and you need to talk to the treasurer and be like, hey, can we get this information in this kind of format? And sometimes it might just be like, oh, so this is how it works. Like, this is how it matches up to the budget and all those things. So, it's I have no formal accounting training, and yet they trust me with about $40 million of charitable money, because I've had to learn on the job, like so many of us have, like how you do these things. And so I've taken the online classes and learned and I say I'm kind of medium smart. So like after a little bit of beating over the head, I figured it out. But
willing to share.
Right. So again, I've made the mistakes, so maybe you don't have to.
Christian, great catching up with you.
Nice to see you.
I believe we'll see you right before Crawford Gives, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's a couple days before.
Wow.
Yeah. It's barreling in like it does every year.
Thanks, Christian. Take care.
I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks rose on Thursday, with the Dow gaining more than 0.4%, the S&P 500 adding over 0.25%, and the Nasdaq ticking up marginally. The gains, while moderate, marked fresh record high closes for the S&P 500 and Nasdaq. NVIDIA's return to its $4 trillion valuation milestone for a second straight day helped boost the indexes. But the tech-heavy Nasdaq's muted move marked a notable turn in sentiment, said Melissa Brown, Managing Director of Investment Decision Research at SimCorp.
We do see today, different from what we've seen for a while now, is that there seems to be more of a preference for lower volatility kinds of names, as opposed to the really up-and-comers. That's why NASDAQ is, not up as much as the other indices. So that, if that's happening, or if that continues, that would really be a big shift from what we've seen basically since April 9th.
Among other stocks, shares of Delta Airlines soared 12% after the carrier forecast third quarter and full year profits above Wall Street estimates. That boosted the whole sector, with United Airlines and American Airlines also rallying. Shares of WK Kellogg skyrocketed more than 30%, following reports that Italian candy maker Ferrero was nearing a deal to buy the cereal maker. But shares of ConAgra brands sank over 4% after it forecast annual profit below Wall Street expectations, citing higher tariff-related costs for products, including its Hunt's ketchup.
Well, before we get into sports, let's check that forecast one last time. We are looking at some sun this morning, increasing clouds this afternoon, stray shower thunderstorm possible, and highs in the mid-80s. Some clouds tonight with lows in the upper 60s. Saturday, partly cloudy, a high near 90. Sunday, thunderstorms, low 80s. Monday, morning rain showers with temperatures in the low 80s. And Tuesday, mostly sunny with temperatures in the mid-80s. Meadville this morning at 70. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh around 70. Titusville 69. Franklin this morning 70. Oil City 68 degrees here at 8:40. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Looking forward to a conversation with Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson. Hi, Bruce. How's it going this morning?
Good.
Good to see you.
How was your fourth holiday?
It was great. I loved the fact that it was on a Friday because it felt like the whole weekend was available. So,
well, I hope it was.
It was, yeah.
Good.
I can't say that we did anything, meaningful that weekend.
Sometimes doing nothing's good.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. But, the fourth was great. Spent it with the family and friends and had a good time. How about you?
Good. Yeah, it was. I was kind of like busy all 4 days, but it was all friend stuff, visit stuff, picnic stuff. Good stuff.
That is good stuff, isn't it?
Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and you need that to.
You do. Yeah, to kind of settle into the summer, which is going by rapidly.
Oh man!
Next Wednesday's the middle of the month already, so yeah. Steeler training camp starts 2 weeks from yesterday. I know. And then you get into August, you got college camp, football camps open, high school camps open.
Yeah, so. Hall of Fame game and preseason games.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to the preseason games just to see some of these young guys.
New players. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Steelers had a lot of change this year, so it'll be interesting to see how the new guys are and how the old guy is.
Yeah. There's a couple old guys. You got Hayward and...
Yeah.
Rodgers. Are you surprised, not really, that that situation hasn't kind of resolved itself by now?
I think the holdup is the length of the contract.
Okay.
I think that's the holdup. Pittsburgh, he's going to get his money, but they'd like it to be for a shorter period of time. But I think he'd like it for a longer period of time, so...
So it's close.
Yeah, it's close. I think the money is pretty much agreed to. It's just like how long is he going to be there? So.
Yeah. He's what, early 30s?
31.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the rub. Because if they give him a 5-year contract, which won't start until next year, he'll be like 36. And we saw last year his production starting to drop off a little bit. So, Father Time's got this thing going. So you're going to be paying him the biggest money of his career at the time of his career when his skills are eroding. So it's a tough call for the teams. It is.
Bill Cowher was on Dan Patrick's show, and Dan asked him, how much does the coach play a role in contract talks? And he said, you're involved a little bit.
Yeah.
So things that they want to know is, and the Rooneys know this, it's more than just the play on the field and the stat numbers, right? It's leadership. It's inspiring. Is he, helping the younger guys? There's all these other factors that play a role. And he, checks all those boxes.
Yes, he does.
So, yeah, as you said, it sounds like it's close.
It is. And there was a headline on a podcast. Trade TJ Watt. Are you serious? So I don't think the Steelers in any way want to trade him. I don't think there's really any sentiment around the Steeler headquarters to trade him. But like I said before, I think there's this length of this contract, I think, is the real sticking point. So, and Lawley and Williamson, Steeler Nation Radio, said this might not get done until, well into training camp.
Yeah.
So, and the Steelers, they just kind of work at their time frame. They don't get rushed. They don't get panicky. They just work through things, and sometimes the fans don't particularly like it, but...
Hey, remember last year, Dak Prescott, he signed his contract the first game.
Yeah.
Like, the day.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So, I think it could be like that this year, or it could be tomorrow. Who knows? So. But they did make a trade. They traded Mika Fitzpatrick to Miami for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. Plus, they swapped a 7th-round pick and 26 for a 5th-round pick. So, you look at the trade, Fitzpatrick's 28, Ramsey's 30, going on 31. Smith, I think, is 29 or 30. They were all Pro Bowl players last year, or have been Pro Bowl players in their careers.
And Fitzpatrick, he struggled the last couple.
Well, he hasn't had the big splash plays. And it's harder to find good cornerbacks than it is to find good safeties. So now Ramsey had a good year last year, but they've got him for 4 years. He's got a long contract. Kind of like him and Metcalf both have long contracts. They're going to take them well into their 30s. And the question is, will they still be productive into their 30s? Although with Ramsey, he's 6'1", 208. He probably will be transitioned to safety, which that's what happened to Rod Woodson. A lot of cornerbacks that when they get older, if they're big enough, they can transition to safety. So he could probably be a couple years down the road and further on could be their safety, free safety. So I think that's how they're looking at this. So
until they're not looking at it.
Yes. And, they can release them. The contract's not guaranteed.
Yeah. The other thing Cowher said when asked about sort of the unprecedented moves that the Steelers are making this offseason, Cowher, basically said, yeah, it's what everybody's saying. It's not just getting to the postseason, but it's also winning a game in the postseason.
Yes. I think that's the goal. Probably won't get to the Super Bowl, but let's win the playoffs. Yeah. I think that's the motivation. Because next year...
Maybe win the division, maybe...
Yeah, exactly. And let's be honest. Next year, they're going to go get a quarterback, a young quarterback. And they've got quite a bit of draft capital to do that. So, we'll see.
We'll see. Getting frustrated over there, Bruce.
I am
just throwing
knocking my
stuff.
glasses on the floor. I wasn't hired for my disposition. A famous T-shirt worn by a former football player by the name of Greg Lloyd. And I want to talk a little bit today about Greg Lloyd.
Okay.
Drafted in the 1990s, sixth-round draft pick out of Fork Valley State. Was an all-conference player his last 3 years. Was a player of the year his senior year in the league. Was the most valuable player each year his last 3 years of football in college. Went into the pros, was All-Pro 3 years, Pro Bowl 5 years. Was one of the greatest linebackers ever to play for the Steelers. And yes, was known for his disposition, which could be a little bit on the harsh side. A great football player. He's one of my all-time favorite Steelers. He wasn't particularly big, 6'1", 228 pounds, but he was feared in the NFL. I mean, he was feared. Big hitter. Played from 88 to 95 and 96. He blew out his knee. It really shortened his career. If he hadn't have blown out his knee, he probably would have wanted to become a Hall of Famer. Played in 97, part of a season, and then the Steelers let him go, and he signed with Carolina in 98, and that was the end of his career. But he was a great, great player for the Steelers, and he was sandwiched. He was paired with a guy by the name of Kevin Green, and those two guys were an incredible outside pair of linebackers, probably the best outside linebackers, and I'm talking about today's, that the Steelers have ever had. Kevin Green and Greg Lloyd were terrors, and they were Pro Bowlers from the 93 through 95. They were both Pro Bowlers. So remember those years well, and I remember Greg Lloyd well. He was a great, great football player.
Are you just spotlighting him today?
Pardon?
Are you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
okay? All right.
Yeah, I'm going to do that a little bit from here on. Just, you know.
And those are the regular season statistics there for him on the screen.
Yep. Yeah, he was one of Cowher. I think Cowher said it was one of the best football player that he ever played for him. I think that's what Cowher said about him. Yeah, he was an inspirational leader on that team, no doubt about it. And other teams tried to stay away from him.
Yeah. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson with us here this morning.
We'll talk a little bit about the Penguins. They're looking for trade fits for their expensive defenseman Erik Karlsson, and they're fielding a lot of offers for Brian Rust. So it looks like both of those players could be moved in the offseason. Evgeny Malkin will not be re-signed after this year. This is the last year of his contract. And Crosby has 2 years on his contract, and Letang has 3. I think Crosby will finish his career there, but I'm not so sure about Letang. He could be moved. So they just made a trade for a defenseman, and they picked up a second-round draft pick, I think, next year. So they're still accumulating assets to bring in young players for this team. So
you think after this contract round, Crosby's going to retire, or do you think he'll...
I don't know. He's got 2 years left. Got this year next. He could. Kind of depends. If the team is like on the verge of having a really good year, he could stay for another year. And it might be that he gets to the point where he just goes year by year.
Yeah. It's not like he's had a terrible season, where the numbers are horrible. I mean, he's pretty consistent.
Well, he'll be, after this coming season, he'll be with Pittsburgh 20 years. Malkin will be 21.
Jeez.
Yeah, because Crosby came in a year after Malkin. Malkin came in 2004, and he came in 2005. And it's really rare that a high-profile player stays with his team their whole career, but both those players, that's been the case, as well as Letang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not the case, but they're almost like the banner of the franchise.
Yes, exactly.
So
because they've been there so long.
Yeah.
They've been through... Crosby's through third owner.
Wow.
Third owner. So
I think that's why people view McCutcheon that way, because he loves the city, loves the team.
Exactly. And ask Nutting if he could come back, and Nutting says, "Yeah, absolutely, yeah."
Yeah, but he's like one of those guys where you just, I mean, if you could have a team full of them,
and he's one of their best players, still,
right? Yeah.
And we remember back when he was really good, he was the most valuable player 1 year and almost 2 years. So, yeah. And I think he kind of is the glue, helps hold that team together. You know, he's a veteran player who does everything the right way. And sometimes young players need that kind of example set for them. So, we're going to talk a little bit about the Pirates.
Are they still playing?
They win 6 on the road, look great. They win 6 at home, look great. Go on the road, lose 6 on the road. Yeah. And this is interesting. They're 26-21 at home. They're 12-35 on the road. Ugh. So they are not a road team. Now, what does that tell me? Well, it tells me that they really need the energy of the hometown fans for them to play at a higher level. When they don't seem to get that, they don't play well. But you look at the 4 games on the road, 2 of them were 1-0 losses. 4 of them were single-run losses. So I want to give you some statistics. I struggle with that word. They are last in the National League in home runs, RBIs, average, and OPS. Last. They're not a good hitting team. But they're 5th in ERA. So they have a good pitching staff. They just can't hit where the toot. So there has been talk that Cherington may try to bring a bat into the team before the trade deadline, which is coming up sometime in late June. So, and the draft for next year is this Sunday and Monday, which is around the All-Star game break. I think the home run contest is Monday, and the All-Star game is Tuesday. By the way, where is the All-Star game this year?
I was just looking it up. I have not heard a whole lot about this year's.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of teams are just hoping to just get to this break.
Yes.
Kind of reset some things.
Well, for a period of time, they played 2 All-Star games each year in the 60s.
Atlanta,
that's what I thought. And I remember, sound like an old you-know-what, when the All-Star game was it was a major event. Everybody watched the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Now I think it's almost like they're getting together, they're doing something in Atlanta.
And sometimes the home run derby is more fun than the game itself. But I still, in my mind, I'm not like, hey, I got to be home to watch this. But you're right. There was a time I was like, hey, the All-Star game is on.
It was must-watching. I remember the outfield of Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, and Roberto Clemente. 3 former Hall of Famers. There was a lot of great players around in the 60s. It was kind of like the golden age of baseball. Great pitchers, Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale, that great pitcher from St. Louis, his name escapes me. There was just a lot of really good players kicking around at baseball in the 60s.
Yeah, I was listening to something this week. We were talking about pitching today versus, even 20 years ago. And, you've got pitchers who probably won't hit certain stats as these great, pitchers in the past. Why? Because they're getting pulled early from the game.
6 innings is it.
Yeah.
You don't go past 6 innings.
Bring in the relievers.
Now, I think Scanes did pitch a complete game earlier in the season. But that's rare.
Yeah.
And in the old days, pitchers would go 9, 10. If the game went into extra innings, they were still in there flinging the ball. That doesn't happen today. Also, too, back in those days, you did not have the relief staffs you do today. Relief pitching has really become an art. It really wasn't back then. Relief pitching was just kind of getting started in the 60s. You might have a closer, but your other relievers were just guys sometimes the middle of the pitching staff were not very good players. They were kind of there take up seats.
Right, yeah. Emergency situation.
Emergency situation, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But, okay. Anything else with baseball?
Well, I did say the draft's coming up on Sunday and Monday, and there's a projection about who Pittsburgh may take. It'll probably, either be a hitter or a pitcher. They're pretty strong on pitching. I think they're looking for hitting.
Yeah.
And if you look at the last 2 years, they've got Scanes and Connor Griffin. They've done really well. They've picked up 2 tremendous young players. So if they can do that again this year, I think they're going to go for hitter because that's what they need. They need more hitting in their minor league system, and I think that's what they're going to do.
Hate to bring this up with just a couple minutes left, but a conversation this week, football playoff expansion, 16 teams. They're also talking about expansion in March Madness as well in basketball. So that's...
They're finding out there's money to be had in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I kept saying that to them. Playoffs, that's where the money's at. Why are you fighting this? Well, not anymore.
Yeah. Well, I guess the Big Ten and SEC want more of their teams in it, and then
of course they do.
And then sprinkle in,
Well,
some of those others.
They've got the majority of the good teams with the Pac-12 basically coming to the Big Ten.
Sure.
They've really pretty much scooped up, and now the Texas and Oklahoma have now left the Big 12 and now went to the SEC. Really, the SEC and the Big Ten pretty much are big-time college football.
Is that going to be it in the future? You're just going to have those two?
I think there is a reset coming for college football. I think it is. And if the president just nominated Nick Saban to be to investigate college sports, and I think out of that will come a recommendation for some kind of a new organization which will be over big-time college football. And I think he might be the first commissioner.
There you go.
And if that happens, then I think you'll see, and what you'll do is you'll see them share TV revenue. So now whatever conference you're in does not matter. Everybody's going to get the same. Now, are the big teams going to like that?
Yeah, Big Ten and SEC are going to.
But if it's going to be good for football, I think they'll go along.
Bruce, good to see you. Have a great week. All right, take care.